What do we say to this, Olayomi?
Well, it is so painful and it's so sad that we have got to the stage where um, those terrorists, because these are terrorists, are careless about um, whether you are a Muslim in the first place, with no regard and no remorse to human lives. There's a particular video that was shared within the Nigerian community last week, and you will cry to see innocent children, about 10 of them, were marched to death. And I'm not joking. I mean, the videos, the images were so gruesome that I mean, we can't even show them because of the community standard. But that shows, the evil mind of these individuals. But the question is, how did we get to where today, the whole country is now ravaging? As at yesterday, one out of so many of the people that were taken away from the Kaduna bomb train was released after 100 million naira was paid. That also shows that he's a Muslim from the outfit and his name. But this individual, careless who you are, they are more concerned to probably, convert everybody to their own Islamic doctrine.
Their own type of Islam, which
a lot of people,
know nothing by killing.
A lot of people do disagree with. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, Olami, let's go with the morning. The headlines are making the news this morning. And we'll come back to the other issues. Olami, over to you, please.
Thank you so much. Quite a lot, in terms of the headline coming out of Nigeria, this morning, and we're going to be starting, from some of the headline, the papers, review again this morning. This is Star Radio UK. It is your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. Zoning crisis threatened PDP. South insists on presidency. The PDP have said that we are not going to be zoning their party to any part of the country. That means if you are in the southeast, you would have to come out and decide who to contest or who to allow you to be the next president. That's for those that still believe that there will be an election in Nigeria in 2023, because not a lot of people believe that election will hold, but that is a conversation that will come true. So zoning crisis threatening the PDP. The South insists on the presidency. Poland accommodate 2,000 Nigerians and others fleeing Ukraine. Some Nigerians have said, I would rather stay in that war zone area than return back to Nigeria, where I believe some of them think there is not going to be any hope for them. So more Nigerians, about 2,000 of them, have been accommodated, by the Poland or the Polish government, the Polish government, as we know at the moment. So that is coming from the headline, this morning as well. Also, another very good news: terrorists attack school, hospital, and school in Borno State. Borno State is ravaging, just as Kaduna State. Last night, while I was going to bed at about 2 o'clock in the morning, there were still Twitter messages coming out of Kaduna. And when I posted that on our social media handle, someone that lives in Kaduna says, as at yesterday, 3 attacks occurred in that particular part of the globe. In the northeast of the country. And the question again is, for how long do Nigerians have to suffer, the negligence of these, governments that has not done so much? I was listening to the senior advocate of Nigeria, the Robert Clark, during Niger Voices yesterday. For those of you that do not know, Niger Voices, comes up every Wednesday at about 6 p.m. on Star Radio UK, where we look at issues affecting Nigerians and the whole structure of these self-determination that comes up at the second segment of the program. But yesterday, Robert Clark says about 4 billion naira, according to Okorocha, says he spent that for the school upgrade and school building in when he was the governor. Is the current senator is also contesting under the PDP for that election that is coming up in the next couple of days, which we're going to be giving us the countdown. But what we can say is these are money that are not accounted for in terms of the security vote. but yet it's still not even under the constitution that a lot of Nigerians are now saying is one of the most fraudulent documents that you can think of across the globe, because it was put together by the military hierarchy. Again, we need to emphasize there's another information still coming out that is eminent to coup in Nigeria, which I'm going to be coming back to that as well. So, Borno State has also faced another situation of the hospital attack, and let's go into that story, and then we go into more other stories. Then I come back again to you in the studio. Again, terrorists suspected to be members of the Islamic State of West Province have attacked Damboa town of Borno State. A security source who confirmed the attack say the terrorists attacked the town around 1 a.m. Local time in Nigeria yesterday. What a very sad one, where hospital and schools are being attacked. The park their motorcycles behind the trench, jog around the town and moving on their foot. The question then is, where is the security, to make sure that Nigerians are not being persecuted and being killed continuously, by these terrorists that have taken over almost every part of the country. So he explained that the burnt part of the primary healthcare facility aside from the town and part of the technical guest college in Damboa, that is coming from the headline. Let's take a look at some of the other headline coming out from another paper this morning. Once again, this is Starr Radio UK. Yesterday, the former president, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, almost lost his life. He survived it, but two of his security aides were killed instantly from what we called Abuja road accident. Jonathan, according to the headline, escaped unhurt as two aides died in Abuja road accident. What we know is the ex-president, Goodluck Jonathan, yesterday escaped unhurt in a road accident in Abuja, although the crash left two of his police aides dead and others injured. What could have led to such a fatal accident in the capital city? Could it be the road network? Could it be the motorcade that they were traveling with, or something that we got to be concerned about? But what we know is the former president was said to have been on his way from the NNAMDI Azikiwe International Airport to his residence in the Federal Capital Territory when the accident happened. According to the two security personnel attached to him, Inspector Ibrahim Abazi and Yakubu Toma, were not so lucky as they did not survive the crash. Although it wasn't clear what caused the accident, Jonathan was said to have left Yenoga, Bayelsa State, his home city, for Abuja in the afternoon before the accident, which saw a number of cars in the convoy mangled. A statement released on the incident by the former president's spokesman said, and I quote, Jonathan was deeply saddened by the death of his aide. The former president, Jonathan, has expressed deep sadness over the unfortunate tragic death of two police officers attached to him in a road crash today at the vicinity of Abuja Airport while on his way. I'm going to come back again to you in the studio. It's 19 minutes past the hour, and this is Starr Radio UK. It is the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London as we continue to review the news update coming out of Nigeria this particular morning.
Thank you very much, Olayomi Koiki, and may the soul of those gallant police officers who were just doing their job, but have to now leave us for eternal glory or eternal. And may their souls rest in perfect peace. And we thank God that the ex-president survived the accident. Olayomi, today I want us to there's something that I think repeatedly we keep hearing. There's no single day that we do not hear about news about attacks or banditry or anything. Let's assume, and this is going to be to all Nigerians and all our listeners. I'm going to ask a simple question. Let's assume that the government has failed, right? Government has failed, and therefore, on a daily basis, we continue to see these attacks. What should Nigerians be doing now to ensure that this problem is solved once and for all? Because government for now is helpless. Government for now has failed. Because if the government has not failed, we will not continue to see the same thing repeating itself day in, day out again.
Açılıyor.
We know
Bluetooth
what.
bağlandı.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, that's fine.
Bluetooth
What should
bağlandı.
we be expecting the citizenry of Nigerians to do? What should Nigerians be doing today to be able to help solve the issue? Now, what do you think, Olayomi? What should we be doing? Actually, I gave you the presidency today. What should we be doing?
What we should be doing now is creating a little bit more of what we call the vigilante. There should be active within our communities. I understand that vigilante is allowed, even with the fraudulent constitution that we have at present, and that would then be a kind of a way to at least stop, any kind of the first attack. But the only question then is, it's not just the vigilante. Let us hear what T.Y. Danjuma said some few years back, and that was when we were getting the speaker ready.
Okay.
They collude. They collude. One of us must rise up. The armed forces are not neutral. They collude. They collude. They collude with the armed bandits that kill people, kill Nigerians. They facilitate their movement. They cover them. If you are depending on the armed forces to stop the killings, you will all die one by one.
You can see that this was T.Y. Danjuma, telling us that the military have literally colluded with the terrorists, and if you're waiting for them to rescue you, we will all die. And since we don't want to die until death itself will happen at the right time, but not for the negligence of a country that has failed to protect. The British government has updated their website advising a total non-travel to almost 9 states in the north as against a terrorist attack or terrorist, you must not travel down there. The question then is, what can be done? Nigerians must now accept that there's a failure of a government to protect lives and citizens. And citizens, we are not going to be here to say citizens should carry arms, even though a senator in one of the members have requested that maybe Nigerians now should be allowed to carry arms.
You see, Olayomi, the audio you just played, I think we know there's evidence to that. Somewhere last 2 years, we saw even the military move to stop members of their ranks holding mobile phones in their camps for the fear that information was being leaked to the bandits. And we saw it happen when military men were attacked, and it eventually came that there are some people within the military that were working closely with the bandits to attack. So that audio was 100% on point. Now, if you look at what is happening in Nigeria, I draw my mind back, I take my mind back to what is happening in Ukraine. Over the last few days, we've seen images of people being butchered, people being killed horrifically, scenes that you do not want to see, you don't want your child to be exposed to, coming from towns close to Kiev. And we saw how the world has reacted. The video you're talking about, when men, women, children their throats are being slit, people are being butchered by the bandits. I think it's even worse than what is happening in those areas. Why then can't we declare or urge the government to consider this as a war? That Nigerians are at war with the bandits. Nigerians are at war with the bandits, and each citizen that is able to fight hold guns must now be equipped to defend their own household. Because as we speak now in Ukraine, you can hold gun, you'll be given a gun, defend wherever you are. Even old men and old women are being given rifles, taught how to shoot and kill in Ukraine because it is declared a war time. Why can't we declare war time against the bandits and then go after them and get citizens? Because the vigilantes, if we don't equip them properly, they're not going to be effective. Why don't we declare, give them arms and let them fight it out?
Well, we were even able to see yesterday in one of the southwest in Ondo State, where those that remember, movement of cows have been banned, from the state governor, but the Amotekun, the security operative that was set up, the local security operative that was set up by the state to monitor some of these atrocities, were stopping these cows, from moving around and creating havoc and mayhem. But to our surprise, we saw a video, broad daylight, where the military came in and then started fighting back. We're not fighting, they were literally, whipping some of these Amotekun, and this happened in Ondo State. Now to buttress whether, we are at war, let's hear what these individuals have to say from the northern part of Nigeria in an audio that was released yesterday.
Address Nigerians and the international community about the current happenings in northern Nigeria. Although it's not only northern Nigeria, it's the entire country, but most particularly northern Nigeria. And I want to address the indigenous Nigerians and the Hausa people, particularly in Nigeria. We need to rise up. We need to open eyes. The Fulanis are moving all villages, killing people, rampaging communities. They have no respect for religion. Fulani man has no respect, whether you are a Muslim or you are a Christian. I myself that is addressing you, I'm a Hausa person. These people have no regard for religion. If you are thinking it's about religion, you better open your eyes. The indigenous people in this country and the Hausa people need to rise up and open their eyes. This is not about religion, it's about ethnic cleansing. The Fulani people want to eliminate the indigenous Nigerians.
I'm going to leave it there, and the question then is, are we now at war with the bandits, as the government wants to know them, or are we at war with a real ethnic cleansing of indigenous people in Nigeria? In the next 24 hours, MAZI NNAMDI KANU will be going back again to the court. He was actually here in London in 2012 in front of the Nigerian embassy protesting against the invasion of the Hausa land by the foreigners. And then moving forward in 2014, he was campaigning the same reason why they must leave Nigeria as a Biafran. But now it seems the indigenous Hausa are now coming out to say the same thing NNAMDI KANU was saying.
There's a little bit of, was that the audio we heard? That's a citizen, not a governor, right?
A citizen of the northern part of Nigeria.
There's a bit of a problem over there because what I also see, this is a very complex situation. Because if we cast our mind back to what happened between the Tutsis and the Hutus back in Rwanda, we also ought to be a bit careful. Now, when it says indigenous Nigerians, who are the indigenous Nigerians? Probably might have to be educated on that. Now, we understand, and again, if you're Fulani listening to us, we are not saying, I'm also not saying that the criminals that are carrying all these attacks are all 100%.
And it did say so as well in that audio. We couldn't play it up. It's a long audio, about 10 minutes. It did say that even the Fulanis, the good one, must wake up right now because this is also having a bad image. And this is exactly what the Yoruba are saying, that yes, there are some Fulani that have lived in the community with us, but we now have the bush Fulanis that are coming in from outside the country with a porous border and creating mayhem in Nigeria.
Okay, so then question would be, are they working with people that to destabilize that part of Nigeria so then eventually the southern Nigeria will say, okay, let's divide Nigeria, let the north form East form territory and the southeast form old territory. Is that what we're looking at? I am not comfortable with what is happening. I think a national dialogue will be needed. And I don't know the role the Senate and the House of Representatives is playing in all this, because I think, yes, the government is being called upon, but they are part of the government being paid and taking taxpayers' money, and they all do have responsibility towards the people of Nigeria. And I do think it's time we as a people of Nigerians rise up and say, we want to hold a citizen national dialogue on this. Let's hold a national dialogue on this. The Citizens Forum. Let's discuss what we must do to protect our lives, because these are our mothers, our fathers, our children, our wives that are being slaughtered. Let's do what we can whilst the opportunity is still there. Olayomi, let's proceed with other news that we do have.
Let's go straight, to some of the other headlines coming out of Nigeria this morning as we continue to review all that news as well. Once again, we go straight to the business section, as a lot of Nigerians now are probably gonna have their SIM card deactivated. NIM deactivated subscribers. 1 3-month extension enrollment center congested. CBN fines 3 banks 800 million naira over crypto transaction, which is no longer allowed under the CBN. No plan to reduce duty on imported vehicles, according to custom. Nigeria has over 80,000 refugees, 3.2 million IDP, according to the United Nations. What a very staggering number there. As we continue to say, the reason why some of these, IDP number continue to grow is because of the insecurity in the country. The United Nations High Commissioner for Refugee, the UN Agency for Refugee, on Wednesday yesterday said over 80,000 refugees and 3.2 million internal displaced persons were in Nigeria and in their need of help. So that shows that at present is more than the situation happening in Ukraine, but there is less focus to support these internal people that has been ravaging because of the terrorist attack, which, like you say, is a war zone at the moment. Maybe because it's Africa. It said most Nigerians were unaware that the country was hosting over 80,000 refugees, particularly in the southern state, as the bulk of the refugees were also coming from Cameroon. So we're having refugees. We're also having our own internal refugee as well. So speaking to journalists on the sideline of the workshop on maximizing the power of Zakat to support families forced to flee in Nigeria, the United Nations representative in Nigeria, Chasten Kapaya, said the event was put together to gather funds to support IDP. The question then is, why is the African Union, why is the European Union not doing enough to support Nigerians that are internal display as we speak right now? So I'm going to go straight to the social media. It's 11:34 a.m. Tomorrow, MAZI NNAMDI KANU will be back again, in Abuja, where the government is putting 15-count charge on him. And he continued to say the first reason why he had to escape for his life in 2017 was because the military invaded his house. 17 people were killed and a dog as well. So let's go straight to some of those social media conversation. Sonto Okonko at General_Sonto. Apart from Igbos, other tribes rarely build or invest outside their region. The Igbos are the most patriotic with billions of dollars worth of investment outside their region, yet they are the most marginalized, oppressed, militarized in Nigeria. Indigo, wake up and think home. Our own regular one, OMOYELE SOWORE, says, after taking over Amnesty Nigeria and with its cells filled with innocent victims, Nigeria's prime violator of human rights, DSS, seeks better relationship with the CSO's evil society organization. At Amnesty ought to close down its Nigerian office at this point. Hashtag, we can't continue like this. This headline and then the conversation on it by Kalu Aja. The headline was Matawa buys Cadillac, an expensive car for Zamfara monarch. What a very beautiful initiative But is this something that needs to solve the problem? In the north, continue to buy exclusive and expensive cars to some of your monarch while the state is in a total disarray. And this other individual, Kalu Aja, at Fin Plan Kalu Aja once says, Nigeria does not have a revenue problem. Nigeria has a spending problem. The next one we're going to take before we come back again as we continue to Nigerian politicians are the architect of all the evil happenings in Nigeria. Never you forget. And the last one is coming from Nasser Issa Usman. At Nasser Issa 1974 says he's responding back to the notification to the Nigerian army. As no soldier to defend our territory, heavy inflows of Fulani machineries into Nigeria orchestrated by Kabars. The Taliban approach had been put in place against Aso Villa invasion. Aso Rock will soon be invaded by the Fulani's foreign machineries. This is Star Radio UK, the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. I come back now to you in the studio.
That's a lot. That's a lot that is going on in Nigeria. But the listeners, the questions still remain. What should Nigerians be doing? And this is a dialogue we want to carry home, and this is a dialogue we want to continue to think about. Olami, I am very fully aware of the month we are in, and therefore we're not going to hold you too long. Thank you very much for that wonderful updates as well. And let's continue to work for Nigeria. Nigerians, wherever you are, join us. Olami cannot do it alone. And we thank all of you who continue to support feeding him with information. Now, finally, what is happening on Sunday?
Well, currently, as we know, almost coming up to 3 weeks now, it was released from Benin Republic. And we continue to appreciate, the government of Benin for doing that, because it could have still been a strain on millions of Yorubas, that were consigned at 7 months was more than enough to have incarcerated him without having a clear understanding of what was going on. But what we can say is he's healthy, he's fine, he's still in Benin Republic, and that's as far as we can say. I was able to listen to an interview that was granted on the update of the Ominira radio that was about to be launched last year for the purpose of the Yoruba Nation movement, but it was stopped for a purpose. But that engagement took place in Benin Republic, and that Ominira radio on a shortwave satellite to beam and talk to millions of Yorubas in the rural area will be on within the next 3 weeks, according to the leader of the Yoruba movement, Professor Banji Akintoye. He was asked, his deputy was asked, what is the condition of Chief Sunday IGBOHO? And the same thing was said, that Chief Sunday IGBOHO is healthy, is fine. I know a lot of people will be still concerned that he's still in Benin Republic, but we must understand that Benin Republic is not the same as Nigeria, even though he has spent 7 months being incarcerated, but they've been able to find out that he has not committed any crime, he's not a criminal, and he hasn't come into Benin to destabilize Benin Republic. He was using that as a transit to head back to Germany until he was stopped, in July 19, where the Nigerian government already put the information out against him. But all that has been trashed out of the court. But like we said, he's out there having his own little confinement with his family where he is presently. I speak with him almost every day, and he also continues to send his greetings to everyone out there.
All right. So for those of you who are Yorubas and that's your leader, that's an update from your leader. Sometimes it's good to hear from our leaders to know exactly how they are doing, because whatever they do informs us. Olami, on that note, I would like to say thank you very much and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Regards to the family, and we'll speak shortly. Thank you very much.
Bye for now. Thank you so much, everyone. I gotta go now. Have a very good afternoon from wherever you're watching, listening. Thank you. Bye for now.